good with it in the hood with it? Welcome back to the collective clips where you already know we get it in. But before we get it in, let's hit that like and subscribe button. How does my primo do it? Ding! Put your notification bell on all, so that way you're directed in the direction of the dope content. I almost forgot what I was going to say. The dope content I'm kicking. And I highly appreciate all the support, man. We're going up on this channel, and it's all because of you. And for that, I can say I'm very humbled and very much so appreciative. Thank you. I know I couldn't do it without you. Are you guys ready? Season 3, Episode 2, Super Norteno. A little bit of a different element right here, the way I'm doing it. But I wanted to tell you a real story, right? Something that's actual and factual, something that happened with my primo Ricky. Now, it's funny to laugh at him. It's funny to laugh with him, right? Whooping. He's crazy. But sometimes things get serious. And so I wanted to give you guys a serious spiel on what happened to him, man, and how we thought we almost lost Ricky. And again, how he comes back from the dead all the time, man. You just can't hold a good Norteno down, right? So trip out on this. So my cousin Ricky is not all there. And when I say it, I'm coming from a place of love, right? And what I mean by he's not all there is he knows what's going on around him, but he's kind of like, our president. He shits his pants all the time. He just doesn't know exactly the street shit, right? He knows a little bit. He knows enough to get by, but not enough to really get by, right? So when the dropout thing started to become pretty prevalent and like everybody started to recognize dropouts, he didn't know what the fuck that was. Right? He figured if you wore red, he doesn't even know what a sangre is, a blood is. He figures if you wear red, you're a Norteño. That's it. He rocks with you. He's going to fucking tear someone's head off for you. If you wear blue, you better watch out unless you're fucking Pepe, right? That's just his get down. That's how he feels. And you can't tell him no different. I don't know how the homeboys laced him up or to what degree of fucking with his head they did. But this vato is mesmerized with everything Norteño. I mean, all the way down to the fucking color of his red paño socks. I mean, literally, this motherfucker has red paño boxers, see-through ones, because he's worn them so much. The see-through fucking socks that are all ripped out. The holes are ripped out right there where the big old toenail comes through. You got those. It's just an ugly situation. So anyways, my tia called me, and she was like, hey, your primo Ricky's in the hospital. And I remember the day it happened, I thought, here we go. What are they going to do? Stick their finger in his culo? It's all good, right? He needs that. He needs a checkup, right? They need to check his fucking head because the last time I went over there, he was farting a lot. Something's wrong with him. And she was like, no, Mio. And I could tell by my tia's voice, it was serious. She was like, we don't know if he's going to make it. And I was like, well, you're just calling me now? She was like, they just found him. And I was like, what do you mean they just found him? She was like, cops came to my house. She was like, I was so scared. And, I could do my tia's voice and all that funny shit, but straight up, she was like, hey, I was scared when they came, pulling up to my house. I thought, for one, they knew what I was selling. 2, something happened with Rick because he didn't come home all night. Him and Sheila were gone, right? Well, come to find out, Sheila was at her homegirl's house. They had gotten into it. And I'm going to tell you guys the whole story of what happened. And then the retaliation is a must where he's from. So she tells me, hurry up, come. She needs a ride to the hospital, man. He's at the hospital. He's fucked up. So I said, all right, cool. So me and my old lady, we smash over there. We pick her up. Her and little paisa jump in the back seat. And it's gone, right? I strap him in because he's a Oaxacan, so he's, real small. And we jam. And when we get to the hospital, man, a nurse meets my tia and they're talking. And my tia's like, it doesn't look good. He might not make it. So I had never seen my cousin, besides the time he got shot, all hooked up to tubes and all kinds of things. And I was like, damn, what happened, Rick? Like, really? This is where it's gotten you, he gangbangs, but I call it pretend gangbanging. He's out there in the middle of the sticks, in the middle of nowhere. He does go kick it with homies. He does go function with homeboys. He goes to parties. He does everything anyone else would do. But literally, he's like he's a man in his own world, right? He's all living vicariously through Big Tone albums and Woody records and shit like that. He really is not out there gangbanging like that. There's no one to gangbang against. Like I said, the most he does, the most work he puts in is he throws darts at a Capone picture on his wall. There's really nothing he's doing, right? So there's no way he can really get caught up. But from time to time, he'll get a wild hair up his ass and he'll go kick it with the homies in my neighborhood or whatever neighborhood and go fuck some shit up, right? We got a lot of family members that are really with the activities in the business. And he'll slide through. How? I don't know. He'll ride his beach cruiser over there or he'll get a ride. But he makes it. And he goes on a mission, man. My cousin, I'm not going to lie, man. There's something about Scante that agrees with them. And he'll be up for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days, right? So this is what had happened. him and his old lady had decided that they were going to go to her homegirl's house and go kick it. So him and Sheila slid over there, and somewhere along the lines, they got into an argument. Now, more than likely, it was a hood rat ass friend of Sheila's, which I will say she is a hood rat for sure, because I know, because I'm just saying. Right? She done did her thing a few different times, a few dozen times. Damn, I miss her, right? I got to get at Sheila and see where she be at nowadays. She probably got like 6 black kids, 2 Asians, a white, and a Samoan, right? But her name's Dashiki. But she was really putting in that work. So anyways, they slid over there. They got into an argument, right? So my cousin calls a homeboy to come through and pick him up. Why he didn't call me? I was not too far down the street. I would have went and swooped him up. He could have came to my house, avoided the roaches, and watched HBO. But the motherfucker wanted to go out there and gangbang and kick it with the homies. Here's one thing I tell people. Be prepared for whatever. Especially in the Central Valley when you're kicking it with Northerners, man. They're always into some shit, right? And my primo is going to be on frontline status every time because they consider him a baboso, and he's down to do anything, and he has hands, right? So anyways, he went out with the homies, and what had happened was they ran into some dropouts, okay? Some Northern Riders or some New Flowers or whatever twist you want to put on it, name. I'm not sure what exactly dropouts they ran into, and dispense up for calling New Flowers dropouts because I know that they're active. But anyways, right, long story short, they fucking run into some DOs, and they get off. But they caught my cousin slipping, and they end up shooting my cousin 4 times. He didn't know that these were not homies. So this is how the story went, and I got it from him when he woke up, right? I guess he ends up leaving Sheila there with her homegirl because her homegirl wants to go kick it with some dudes. My cousin's all fucking in his feelings. So he's like, fuck it then. If you're going to do it, make it an optical illusion. Don't do it in front of me. And he jams with the homeboys, right? They pick him up. And so they're at this party kicking it at some chick's house. And it's crazy how you leave your old lady to kick it with some dudes and you go kick it with some chicks. Yep. I've been there, right? So he smashes off, and there's some dudes. They call some dudes to come through. When these dudes come, a couple of the homies that were there, they jam. They end up leaving, so it's just Rick and 2 other homies, right? And there's like 7 or 8 dudes that come. Now, these dudes are dropouts. My primo's not knowing. And let me explain to you some about degenerates or dropouts or whatever label you want to give them, man. Doesn't mean they're not out there actively gangbanging. Doesn't mean they're not out there putting in their work, man. Hey, just like actives are looking for them, they're looking for actives. That's how it goes, right? That's how it started to go. And my primo's so Willy Lump, he's such a dummy. He doesn't even recognize, he thinks they're homeboys. So, of course, they utilize the dummy role. They get there. They're all partying at this hotel room at this chick's pad, right? Or at this chick's fucking hotel. You know, one of those ones you can rent for a month for $333. How do I know? I know. Believe me. I be in the streets like that. So anyways, they're chilling at this chick's house at this motel, and these dudes all come through. Gang of chicks, these dudes, they figure they're homeboys, right? One of the homies recognizes one of their tattoos, probably a Playboy bunny or whatever. But he asks them about it, and they tell him, hey, this is whatever they're from, right? I'm not too sure if they were Riders or New Flower. I think they might have been Riders, right? But anyways, so my cousin's like, okay, cool, right? The other homie tries to pull my cousin to the side. The other 2 homies like, hey, these fools are dropouts, fool. We got to get off, right? Now, one of the dudes that was with my primo says, hey, fuck that. There's too many of them. Let's just jam. We'll double back. We'll go get some more homeboys. We know where they're going to be at and come back. Maybe he had the smart plan or the coward plan, but that was the plan. My primo's like, whopping? Fuck that. Let's get at him, right? He doesn't even know what a dropout is to this point. He's heard about him. He thinks he knows, but he's about to truly find out, right? So he starts getting at him like, hey, are you active, right? They just told him they're not. And now he's basically alerted them that he is super active, right? So they do what they do to super Nortenos. They get off where they're mad at, right? And in the midst of doing that, my primo pulls a rinky-dink ass little high point 380 that doesn't even work. Worse shit, right? And they shoot him 4 times. Okay, this fool gets shot. And that was it. He got left leaking there. Okay, this was a perfect example of someone that, you know, is truly dedicated to a cause and truly gangbang, but doesn't fucking know what's up. He didn't know what was up, right? He could have called me and I'd have been like, bro, let me come get you, man, stupid ass, before they kill you, right? But of course, he didn't do that. He was on his own. And that's one thing I respect about my primo Rick the most. He's down, man. He's down no matter what, man. That motherfucker. Hey, if they call that fool to go on no jumper, Adam, watch out. He's going to fuck around and pull your pants down and do something bad to you. He's going to violate you. I said, let me tell you right now, my cousin is odd, right? He's very odd. And he's with the activities in the business. And he's not as stupid as you may think. If you try to ask me, what about 1992 when you did that crime? He's going to be like, whooping? You want to give me a mamon? Right? He's crazy, right? So anyways, they got off with these dudes, and these dudes ended up shooting one other dude and my cousin. And so when my tia had called me and I'm checking up on him, man, he was in the hospital for a while this time, right? And I'm like, damn, how many times are they going to shoot this dude? How many times is he going to get stabbed, shot, beat with bats? I mean, I've had my fair share of getting smashed on, but damn, it must run in the blood because this motherfucker stays leaking, right? So I remember I called Pepe. True story, right? And I told Pepe, I was like, hey, bro, fucking Rick's. He said, hey, let me get at you. And he was being serio this time. He's like, yeah, I'm Weller right now. I'm Weller, so I can get at you. I was like, well, what's up? He was like, hey, that puta deserves that shit, I say. I'm like, damn, bro, not for real. So he might die and shit. He says, que sureños don't die, we multiply, see? I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not, but he's not a sureño. I know he isn't. He can never be when he has to keep his shirt on. Dropouts, I was thinking about going over there. What do you want to do about that? Them vatos are on the other side anyways. I'm like, hey, look. I don't know who did this shit, man. That's on him, man. Thea's saying fucking with some other northerners that did it. This is before we knew it was Dropouts, right? Before he woke up and told us. We were just aware that he got shot, at a motel. And I remember Sheila was all crying. And I was like, where were your antennas, bitch, when you were sucking on black balls and this fool was over there getting shot up? I wasn't sucking on black balls. He was Asian. I was like, oh, you're a nasty motherfucker, right? But anyways, that's what she was into, and he was into getting shot. And where were these chicks at that he was supposedly fucking with when he got shot? Nowhere to be seen or nowhere to be found. So I'm telling Pepe, and he's like, yeah, well, that goes to show you, Hans, the vatos of baboso, right? So I'm not trying to hear him because at this point in time, he's either going to ask me for the hola, right? Or he's just going to talk shit about Rick. And I know that there was like a love-hate relationship between them. Like I said, they used to crawl that fish together and then give each other titty twisters. But I wasn't trying to hear his bullshit, right? His gangbanging bullshit. So I'm like, all right, bro, whatever. He's like, no, send him my love. Send me the hola too. Walmart to Walmart. They say Walmart to Walmart. So I hung up on his ass. And my tia's all, she's frantic. She's nervous. She was like, damn, how am I going to pay my rent if Ricky dies? Mijo, we might need to move in with you. I'm like, who? She's like, me, the roaches, the dogs, Sheila. I said, you're shit. I mean, if Sheila's willing to give my mons, maybe. But everyone else, nah, you guys are on your own. Like, yeah, you're on your own like a Patti LaBelle song. I can't do nothing for you, right? Fuck that. So anyways, about a couple weeks later, my primo wakes up. And he starts running me down the story. And my primo was in the hospital for 4 months. They actually moved him to Manteca. He was paralyzed. He was paralyzed for a while, man. He got his feeling back. He was able to bubble back like some fucking agua that's wet, right? He was able to come back. But I remember for a while, we thought he was going to be paralyzed on one side. I was like, well, you didn't have a stroke and shit. He was all tore up. He's like, hey, what happened? I can't feel my toenails. I said, you're not supposed to be able to feel your toenails, Bob. Also, you feel that? I felt that. Well, there you go. You're good. You're back, right? But they shot him on his hip, on his lower back, and he got shot twice, one in the knee and one in the calf. If I ever get him to come on, I'll have him show you the battle wounds, man. They're all fucked up. He looks like he got ate by a pit bull like I did before, right? So he's all towed back. So anyways, he says, hey, primo, what happened? These motherfuckers shot me, man. What's these dropouts, man? They act like they're homeboy. They're faking the funk. I said, no. What it was I told you a long time ago, motherfucker. I said, oh yeah, I'm gonna drop out on this now. You go, well, I thought that fucking still thought you were a homie. I just thought you fucking dropped out or something, right? Nah, I said, these dudes don't play, man. Motherfuckers ain't playing out here, bro. If they feel that you're a danger to them, they're gonna be a very much so a danger to you, right? So anyways, he ends up getting out of the hospital in Manteca. They transfer him he was in Turlock. They transfer him from Turlock to Manteca. And my family always goes to the Turlock Hospital. I don't know why. They'll fuck around and kill you over there, right? It's bad. But anyway, so he ends up getting out. He's doing rehabilitation. And it's about 8 months later, man. And this motherfucker goes on a mission. He calls a couple homeboys up. That's why in the thumbnail you see the big homie. That's actually Big Osolok. But he calls a big homie up. And they go right out to the Honeycomb Hideout, man. And trip out on this, right? So I get a call from my tia. And she's like, mijo, Ricky's locked up. And I go, the only time you call me is if you need money, Ricky's locked up, or he's dead, or damn near dead, right? When do you ever call me just to say, hey, mijo, you want to come to the house and eat some tortillas? Well, fuck you, fuckface, you pay for them. I'm like, God damn, man. So what happened? She was like, Rick's going to prison forever. I'm like, what happened? She says, he tied someone, he kidnapped somebody. I said, he didn't kidnap no one, you better stop it. Well, this is exactly what happened. So for a minute there, Rick was having money. And I didn't know where he was getting this money from. Hey, he took me to the King's table a couple times to eat a buffet. Hey, he gave fucking Sheila the golden ticket. Sheila Quiles had a lifetime supply of rodeo burgers. Like every time I went in, hey, I hated it, man. Every time I went to my tia's house, it smelled like a Whopper. Straight up like grease, right? But my primo was having money, so I pulled him to the side like, hey, fool, hey, can I get you one? What's up? What are you doing, right? You don't never have money. I know you're not a drug dealer. You ain't really into that shit. He was like, hey, primo, I'm coming up. Right, I'm coming up. One of the homeboys is hooking me up, and we're making some moves. I'm like, whopping? For reals? Hey, don't get it twisted. Ricky's halfway smart sometimes, right? So he was coming up doing his little thing on the side, and I couldn't believe it, right? I was like, hey, tell him to plug me in. He's like, he don't fuck with deals, right? Now all of a sudden he was the deal entrepreneur or the deal know-it-all about the dropouts, right? Now he knew everything. Hey, that's one thing about my primo. You could fool him once. You ain't fooling him twice. Hey, remember he thought the bulldogs were werewolves? Second time around, he thought they were werewolves again. They bit his ass the first time and shot his ass damn near the second time, right? Or he got his ass beat in front of my primo's front yard. But trip out on this, right? So he's like, hey, primo. He was like, I'm making money, man. So if you need anything, I got you, whopping, right? I'm like, shit, whopping like a motherfucker. I need everything. In fact, your mom owes me about $1,700. Can I get a down payment on that? So he slid me a couple hundred. So he was doing his thing. I was proud of him. But I was also, he kept me a mystery. He didn't tell me exactly what he's doing, but I knew he was fucking dipping into the dope game, which was cool, right? That's on him. As long as I ain't getting locked up for it, shit. And so, anyways, what had happened was these homies he was fucking with, they were fucking with some dropouts, right? They were serving them. And one of the homeboys knew what time it was. He didn't give a fuck. All money's green, right? But he shouldn't have let Ricky know. Because like I said, my cousin's a little odd and a little different. And once something's stuck in his mind, he needs his get backs. He's a super Norteno for a reason. He needs his run backs. He ain't scared of nothing, of nobody. He don't give a fuck. He'll fight Count Dracula to the death. And we all know Count Dracula lives forever. So that goes to show you how real my cousin is, right? So I guess he comes up with this, devises his plan that he's going to go in there and he's going to take these motherfucker hostage and beat them with a bullwhip. When I say this, I'm not exaggerating. This motherfucker went in there, took these dudes hostage and beat them with a bullwhip for like 3 days straight. Hey, got high on the bubbler, got them high to keep them awake. I don't know what type of fucking conspiracy theory type shit he was on. But I guess he felt that if he kept them high, they'd feel it more, right? Look, someone ends up fucking finding out that one of the dude's old ladies fucking tries to get a hold of her old man. She sends them to do a welfare check. Cops come. They do a hostage situation. They kick the door down. They find my cousin all spun out with a bullwhip, right? Talking about, I'm active, whopping, right? They lock his ass up. That fool ended up doing 4 years for that case right there. I remember, man, hey, all that money he had, no more fucking whoppers for Sheila Quiles, right? I had to get some money. My other primos had to get some money. We had to chip in for a lawyer. First time he ever got a paid lawyer because we thought his ass was going to be locked up forever, right? And I remember seeing the discovery on that shit. They were like, for over 72 hours, he proceeded to beat these guys calling them dropouts with a bullwhip. I was like, no way, right? This motherfucker's stupid. Hey, he used to call. I'd be like, primo whopping. He'd be like, bullwhip. Right? Call me, hey, my new TN is bullwhip. That's what the homies were calling him in the county. Hey, it's a bullwhip. And a bullwhip. Whopping. Right? Right? He ended up getting locked up on it. The moral of the story is this, man. Shit's real on the streets, right? My cousin, he's been involved in some bullshit, man. I know I like to make fun of him and have fun, but he's really an intricate vato, man. He's really, I won't say a stay-at-home, good family man. I guess now he's changed a little bit, right? But he's lived a harsh life, a crazy life. And when he was born, the way he was born, it's like, it's odd. It's odd to say. Like, we make fun of him in the family, but ain't no one else doing that. Do you understand what I'm saying? One of them guys. Like, we can clown him. I can be like, shut your ass up. Also, right here, be like, whopping? Why you come at me like that? People, you're a dropout. I'm active, right? But if someone else comes at him like, hey, shut up. He'll be like, what the fuck you talking about, Andy? I'll be like, oh, shit. That was like Dr. Jekyll and fucking Mr. Ooh, you better hide something. You better hide your old lady, right? And we'll get to some other stories pretty soon. Anyways, man, I think season 3, man, I'm going to get more in depth on telling you about the lifestyles of my family. I'm actually going to introduce you into some new characters. And be on the lookout for the new first season of Super Paisa. Are you guys ready? Jalisco like you never seen before. For reals. You guys thought you ate elote? You thought you ate elote? Let me tell you what my boy does with the elote. It's just different. With that being said, I hope that you move smooth with a purpose. Get everything that you want coming. And remember, at the end of the day, it's all about the strive, the struggle, the struggle, the strive. I will be bringing Rick on for an interview very soon. That is 100% fact. And for all you motherfucking haters out there that are saying, I don't know if Rick is real, well, it's going to be as real as it gets when he tells you whopping. You'll see. Watch. Thumbs up or thumbs down. Heavy's going to be the head that wears the crown. I'm going to continue to strive, struggle, and strive for what I honestly and truly believe in. And that's the betterment of all gente, man. Thank you guys, and I appreciate you. Man, make sure you're on tomorrow because, hey, tomorrow, first episode of Super Paisa and episode 3 of Super Norteno. Collective Clips is on fire. Make sure you tap in with the Gunners Collective TV too. Bang, bang.